Hi everybody, today we're working on a 1998 Honda Accord. This car has a bad passenger side CV axle. The owner said it makes a clicking sound when it turns, and here's the reason. We've got a torn boot and all of the grease is leaking out and dirt's getting in there. So typically what happens is if the right side boot is torn, you're going to hear clicking when you turn hard to the left, and if the left side boot is torn, you're going to hear clicking when you turn to the right. So we're going to go ahead and replace this axle. This is a pretty common problem. You can probably find this axle even at your local auto parts store, or you can get it online at places like Amazon, which may be cheaper than buying it locally. And I'll put a link in the description where you can buy this on Amazon. So the first thing we'll do is take off the wheel, and these are 19mm bolts. Alright, this is a 36mm bolt. I'm going to use a giant impact wrench. If you don't have a powerful enough impact wrench, you're probably going to need to crack this while the car is still on the ground, or get someone to stomp on the brake pedal for you, and then use a really long breaker bar. I've got a high torque impact wrench that I'm going to see if this works. What we're going to need to do is take apart the strut here so that we can pull it forward enough that we can get the axle to come out of the center of the hub here. So that means we're going to have to remove a few of these bolts so that we can change the suspension geometry a little bit. So the easiest way to do this is probably going to be to remove this lower control arm, lower ball joint bolt. So first we'll take this cotter pin out, and we'll take the bolt off. Then I'll put the bolt back on so we don't damage the threads. Remember, we're going to hit with the hammer really hard here until it pops out. Okay, it's loose. Remove this outer control arm bolt down here, and then the steering tie rod end right here, and that should be enough to let us pull the whole thing just straight on out of here. So that's a 17mm bolt, and we'll put a 17mm wrench on the other side, and I'll just use a breaker bolt and crack this. We'll take the nut off. And we'll just hammer the bolt on out. And we'll push the cotter pin out of here. Then we'll hit this real hard with the hammer and it should pop right out. Okay. Now we should be able to lower the control arm, and we can pop the axle on out. Okay, we got the axle out now. Alright, here's the inside of the axle. We just need to pop this out. So I just got a pry bar here, and it just pops free. And now we can just slide the axle the rest of the way out. And we got it out. We'll grab the new one. Slide it on in. There it is. I'll just put this bolt on by hand for now. Alright, now we just need to put the suspension geometry back where it needs to be. So first we'll put the ball joint back in. Put the retaining clip back in place. I'll put this control arm bolt back in place. And last, we'll put the steering tie rod end back in. And don't forget the little cotter pin. And we're all done. Oh yeah, the center nut. And I'll put the torque values in the video description. And don't forget, when you're done, you need to dent the ridge of the nut here to go into the little groove in the spline so that it doesn't back off by itself. You just take a hammer and a screwdriver and just whack it real hard. So that's it. Super easy job. This took me probably less than an hour to complete. Even if you don't have impact tools, it's still super easy. You just need some breaker bars and some pry bars and you're good to go. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.